What's going on, guys? You're well here, and welcome to Confabulate, the podcast where we talk about anything and everything. I'm your host, Yoel Sanchez. Thank you so much for stopping by. And today, guys, I'm so fucking excited. We got Ana Perez here. Thank you, Ana, for stopping by.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure to be here.
I love you. You're so hilarious. How have you been? Tell me, what's your life been right now? How's everything?
I've just been working. I'm a receptionist and I'm a dispatcher, so that's what I've been doing. Other than that, I just go to the beach.
To the beach to work on your tan?
Yeah, even though there's no sun because Castro has bipolar weather, but yeah.
I always said that, the whole Monterey County is so fucking bipolar, with the weather. It'll be sunny in Castroville, but when I get to Moss Landing, ill. And then if I get to Marina, cloudy and gray. I don't understand that.
And there's gonna be an earthquake because this weather's weird.
An earthquake? When is the earthquake coming?
Soon. No, it's because to me, it's been weird. It's been kind of humid to me, even though it's cloudy. To me, it's been a little humid.
Well, I just got back from Puerto Rico, and that weather, 90 degrees, 100 degrees, every single day, super hot. I sweat so much. I look like a fucking pig, sweating all day. Even at nighttime, I'll shower at night, and then when I go to bed, sweating again.
Dude, I sweat even when it's cold, so don't even feel bad. Don't feel bad. I sweat all the time.
That's why I don't understand the people that are always cold. They could wear a hoodie and jackets and blankets and shit, and they're always cold. When I'm always sweating, I'm always hot.
Yeah, I'm weird too. I guess I'm bipolar too because sometimes I do get really cold. I'll be wearing 3 sweaters and I'm still cold. But then it's weird because when it's sunny, I'm cold. When the sun is out, I'm cold. But when the weather's like this, when the sun is not out, I'm sweating. Right now, I'm sweating.
That's so weird. Oh my god. Well, the first thing I wanted to mention, I wanted to tell people how we first met. Because I feel like how we met, our friendship, it's not very common. Especially because you and I are completely different. You are very out there and you love talking and it is bien loca. Pero me, I'm so shy and never really talk. But I wanted to tell people how we met. And it was in Menicuti's class. I always say Menicuti, I should say Mendicuti. There we go. we had SLA 1, and I was a junior, you were a freshman. And I remember I was sitting by myself for a minute because Ali Medina was my partner. And then she went on vacation or some shit. And then Menicuti moved you. You were in the back and he moved you next to me. So you were my partner for quite a bit. And I remember it was homecoming week. And you were wearing your sash, and I'm like, holy shit, this bitch is famous. This bitch is popular. So you were my partner. And then that's literally how we first met, and we grew from there, and so funny. We were always laughing. I don't know how many Cootie never separated us.
I think it's because we balanced each other out. Well, in my opinion, we balanced each other out because I talk more, and then you were a little more shy. So I would be the one to kind of bring you out of your comfort zone a little bit. And then you would be the one that would kind of calm me down sometimes since you're so shy and calm. But I think that's why. Because opposites attract.
Exactly, opposites attract. And we were right in front of Minicuti all the time. So he saw everything. And yeah, do you remember I hated reading in Spanish, and then we would always fucking read a book and popcorn read.
I remember you would whenever he would say, okay, we're gonna read, you'd be like, oh my god, you would already start shaking. I remember your fingers would start shaking, and then when he would call you, you'd be like, oh my god. You'd be like, it's okay, do it.
Yeah, I just hate it. I hate doing shit in front of people, presenting, speaking. It's so bad. But then I found out that you were also in cross country, and then you were also a varsity girl, and I'm like, holy shit. I guess that brings me to the next question of cross country, because tell me how long you've been running and how you became such a great runner.
Well, I started running just for fun in middle school. I started 8th grade year. I just wanted to try it. I was like, I'm just going to try this. I don't do anything. I'm boring. So I tried it, and it turned out I was really good. And I was like, what the heck? I didn't even know this. So, and when I got to high school, I was like, I'm going to do it again. I was like, maybe I won't be varsity, but I didn't really care. I just enjoyed running. I never thought I was gonna like running, but when I tried it in middle school, and then I really liked it. And I remember middle school, I did the 800, the 400, and the 200. So when I got to high school, I did the same thing. And in the first meet, I remember Ibarra. He came up to me and he was like, "How long have you been running for?" I was like, "Only like a year." I was like, "I don't even know what I'm doing," but I loved it so much, and I wish I could go back. That's something that I wish I could go back to, running.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I started running mainly just because I was so fat. So I wanted to run and lose weight. And I did. I lost like 20 pounds in like the first month. And I was just running, running, running. I did it all 4 years. And I did it to be with friends también. And
Yeah.
and running, I don't know, it was like a big stress reliever too. And running those 7, 8 miles every day, always sweating. And yeah, I lost so much weight with cross country because I've always been a chunky kid. I've always been so like fat and chunky. So once cross country happened, I got super skinny. And then once that little break would happen between track and cross country, it was like 3 or 4 months. I'd get fat again, and then I'd start running again. And so yeah, that was fun for me. And that's literally why I did it. I never thought it was fun. I just love to run. And then turns out you and I were the same speed. I don't know if you remember.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember, we were the same speed, and I would always try to keep up with you or at practice or whatever. And in the colorbird race, I stayed with you the whole time. I was so proud of myself. And at like the last like mile or whatever, you sprinted that shit. So but I remember that we were the same speed.
Yeah, I remember that one. That's what I was gonna bring up. That I remember Colorbird, and I remember you were like almost like, well, you were like right behind me, but almost like next to me, so I could see you the whole time. And I was like, oh my god, like I wanted to say, oh my god, you're here with me, but I was going for time, and I was like, I'm not even gonna turn to talk to him. And I was hoping that when at the last mile, I knew I was gonna obviously run faster at the last mile. I was hoping that you would stay with me, but I was so proud that you stayed with me like almost the whole entire race.
Hmm. Yeah, I love colorbird. That's my favorite race. Do you have like a favorite race that you've done within like in high school, like a race that just stands out to you that you loved?
Mm, the one I'm never gonna forget, that would be the Jackie Invitational. I think it was after you graduated when we had it. Because I remember that whole season I was so sad because she had passed away. So I wasn't running good, and I was doing so bad. I mean, my times were still good, but I could have done better. And I remember that invitational. Before we were lined up on the line, so we were lined up on the line, and I was just crying so much. And once the gun went off, I remember I was in the top 10. It was the invitational, so invitationals are pretty big. A lot of people. I was in the top 10 like the whole time, and I was so happy because in the end, when I saw my time, it was the best time I have ever gotten for 3 miles. And I think that's the one that I'm never gonna forget, and I wish I could do it again.
Yeah. I don't know if it's happened to you when you're running, but like once Jackie passed away, every time I think about her when I was in a race or at practice, I think about her like if she's with me, and I get like this adrenaline rush, and I just keep going.
Yes.
Do you get that?
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly how I felt that day. I felt like, because since I was so sad, I would just try to, I don't know how to explain it. I would try to ignore the fact that I was sad. And that day of her invitation, I let it out before I started. I was like, "What? I need to cry. I'm gonna cry." And so once we started, it felt like so much adrenaline. And yeah, I get what you're saying. And I remember after that race, we had like 2, 3 more races to go in the season, and I did so much better. And I believed in myself a little more. And I do get what you're saying. I would get adrenaline.
Yeah. And I also wrote down Jackie because I wanted to talk about her, about Miss Henderson, how, um, just like how loving and caring she was. And I wanted to ask you, like, when you started getting close to her, like maybe your first time, like meeting her, or like, when did you know, like, your friendship with Jackie was like really like something special?
So she was my teacher for science, and it was my first period class. And I remember that class, she would always tell us that that class was the class that wouldn't pay attention. But I would always pay attention, even when I didn't know her that much. I would always pay attention for some reason. Even though I didn't like any class, for some reason I wanted to pay attention to what she was saying because she was just super different and she was so genuine. And I remember she would, I think it was when this one time I was cold in class. I think that's when like our friendship started. I think I was cold. And I did have a sweater, but it was really thin. It was almost like a cardigan. And she gave me her sweater. I remember that day she gave me her sweater, and that's when our friendship started. And that's when I knew that she was like more than a teacher. You know, she was such a good friend. And at some point, I even considered her like my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's when I realized that, you know, she was gonna be more than just a teacher. I think that's when.
Yeah, and I remembered I was next to you in that class because you said first period. I had Miss Rogers, which was next door, and Miss Henderson would come over all the time for like supplies or whatever. I remember her, and for me, I knew she was like something special when like it was like after practice. I talked to her like all the time, but like it was after practice one time, and I was walking and I was waiting to get picked up, and it was like maybe an hour after practice, and then she's like, "Yoel, are you waiting for someone?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm just waiting." She's like, "Let me give you a ride," and she gave me a ride home, and that was super sweet. And we sang songs all the way, and she dropped me off home, and that's how I knew like teachers. You could be like one thing, like teachers. It could be so much more than just teaching students. It's like growing a connection and a relationship with them, and that's what she was. She was a friend. She was a coach, and yeah. Where were you when you found out that she passed? Where were you, and how did like you react to it? I guess.
So it was around, I think, 9 at night. I was laying down in my room. I was already, you know, getting ready for bed. And I was taking care of her hamster because she went to New York. And for some reason that day when she brought me the hamster, it was the last night she had here. When I gave her a hug, it felt like I needed to hug her again, or almost like I wasn't going to see her again. Even though I knew she was going to come back, she was only going to go visit New York. But when she drove away, I remember I kind of just stood there and I felt confused for some reason. I don't know why, I just felt so confused and I almost felt like I wanted to cry. But, you know, I just went inside, whatever, and I remember, so that night when I found out, I was laying in my room and I get a phone call from Sarah. And she was taking care of her bunny. I was taking care of her hamster. And so I noticed in her voice that she was a little like if she was crying. And right away I told her, I was like, don't tell me. She hadn't even said anything yet. I was like, don't tell me. And she was like, she's gone. And in my head, I was just like, please just tell me it's the bunny. Like, please tell me it's the bunny. And I was like, no, she's not. But I knew she didn't even have to say anything. I just knew she was gone. And I immediately started crying. And I knew that feeling that I felt that day when she left was true. I was never going to see her again. I just started crying and crying and crying. And me and her just did crying on the phone, not even saying many words. And after that phone call, my mom came in the room because I was just sobbing, crying. I have never cried like that in my life. That was my first time losing somebody. So my mom came in the room and she was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I told her, I was like, Jackie passed away, and it even felt so wrong to say that. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what was coming out of my mouth, and then I just stayed awake almost the whole entire night. I didn't go to sleep till probably 6 in the morning, because I was crying the whole night. I cried myself to sleep, and the next day when I woke up, I felt so drained. I felt like a part of me was gone because she was like my mom. So I remember since she called me and told me that happened, I couldn't answer phone calls for 2 or 3 months. Every time my phone would ring, I felt so traumatized. I never wanted to answer my phone. I would just hang up the phone and text whoever called me and said, "Oh, you know, what's going on?" Because I was so scared of hearing bad news again. And I remember around that time, I loved going to Walmart. I love going to Walmart all the time. And when my sisters found out that that happened, they would try to take me out, and I never wanted to go out. And they'd be like, "Come on, let's go to Walmart." And I was like, "No, I don't want to go." And they convinced me. They finally convinced me. I didn't go out for, I think it was about 3 weeks. I didn't go out. I didn't go out of my house. So I went out to Walmart with them, and when I got there, I remembered one of the last times when I was with Jackie. It was at 7-Eleven, which that 7-Eleven is by that Walmart. And when we got to the parking lot, I started crying so much because I looked in that direction. I was like, oh my God, I was there with her just last month, and now I'm never gonna see her again. And I feel like still to this day, I can't accept it still. I try to ignore the fact that I'm sad about it. But there is times where I just let it out by myself, and I cry because she did mean a lot to me, and I know that I meant a lot to her, and I just wish I could give her one last hug.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, wow. I remember when I found out. I found out like 2 or 3 days after, porque I was like in a music camp during the summer, and yeah, and we couldn't use our phones. They took our phones away, so we were without phones for like a week. And it was the day where we were coming back, and we got our phones back, and there was no signal there either. So I turned on my phone, and then again nothing, and it was like a Friday or Saturday, and then we're driving back home, and then I start to get signal. Literally, Anna, my phone is blowing up. I'm getting messages from like over like 30 people, and it's just saying, "I'm so sorry, Yoel. I'm sorry, Yoel. Yoel, you're not gonna believe this. Call me when you get home. Call me this." And I'm like, "What the actual fuck just happened?" And I was confused. And then I was in the thing in the van with Cameron and Andy, and Cameron, he says, "Oh my God, Miss Henderson passed away." I'm like, "That's so." First of all, it's so random, and it's like that makes no sense. Like, how in the earth will that happen? How does that happen? And I'm like, "Yeah, you're fucking lying." He's like, "Why would I lie about that?" I'm like, "You're fucking lying." And then I'm like, I didn't believe him at all. And then I got more signal, and then I put the dots together, and then I finally got my data, and I got on Instagram. Everyone was posting about her, Twitter. Like, I'm like, holy shit. And I was in the van with like 10 other boys, and I'm like, I am not about to like scream in this van and start crying. I'm gonna hold it in until I get to fucking Castroville. And I got a message from you, and I think I only responded to you. I'm like, Anna, is it true? And you're like, yes, I'm so sorry. I think you're the only one I responded to. And I got to Castroville. They dropped us off. My dad picked me up, and he's like, "So how was your trip? Was it fun?" I'm like, "Yeah, it was good." And then he's like, "Why are you so sad?" I'm like, "Miss Henderson passed away." And then when I said that, that's when I like when it officially came out of my mouth. That's when I like lost it. And then he's like, "Who's Miss Henderson?" I'm like, "Jackie." And he's like, "Oh my God, Jackie!" Because the week before that, or like before, it was the track and field awards or something, and Jackie was there giving awards, and that's when he's like, "Dang, Miss Henderson's cool," and he knows her as Jackie. So yeah, I told him that Jackie passed away, and he's like, "Oh my God!" And I was hungry. We stopped at Subway, and I'm picking myself together. I'm like, "Well, you are losing your mind, and you have to order this fucking sandwich at Subway." Crying, ordering my sandwich. It was so bad. It was such a loss for everyone. Like, do you remember that thing they did in the summer? Um, remember I picked you up, and you brought the hamster, and oh my God, that was so sad. It was such a rough year. After that was my senior year. It was so hard. Was it hard for you at first coming back to school and stuff?
It was really hard, especially because I was gonna have bio, and I was supposed to have her as my teacher again. But obviously she was not there anymore, and there was a completely different teacher, but it was the same classroom. So it was really, really hard, especially that class. I couldn't focus, and I just felt like I didn't want to learn anymore. I didn't want to learn about science or bio or anything like that. It wasn't her teaching me, because her way of teaching was so different too. In my opinion, it was just, I actually wanted to learn, especially because she was so genuine and she cared about all of us. I actually wanted to learn with her. So it was super, super hard. Um, that class, I remember I would always cry in that class. Of course, not screaming, crying, but I would always be shedding tears in that class. And um, it was so hard. It honestly was so hard. And that those seasons of track and cross country that year, they were really, really hard because I didn't have her there cheering me on. And I would kind of try to act like she was there. And I would motivate myself with her in mind all the time. And it was really, really, really hard. It was hard. I can't even put it into words.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna ask you about how was the cross country season and the track season after coming back. Because for me, that was my senior year. I'm like, this is my last shot, and Miss Henderson's not here, and it felt so different her not being there. Because I remember her running and supporting all the athletes, and she wasn't there anymore. So it was hard for me, and that's when I was saying before, like when I'm running, I was thinking of her because she would be there cheering all of us on. Same thing with track. Um, yeah, it's so sad. But in a way, like, did you what was harder though? Was it cross country harder or track harder? And did you like kind of dedicate all of your events or your races to her?
I did all the time. Every single race that I had after that happened, they were all for her. I think cross country was harder just because that was the first season of running, and I think I was doing so bad at first because I kind of got in that mindset of, well, she's not here anymore to cheer me on. Why am I even running? And so I would just kind of tear myself down at first, and I didn't want to run because she wasn't there anymore. It didn't feel the same. It didn't. And until we got to that invitational, her invitational was when I started doing better, and I started believing, like, you know what, she might not be here physically, but she loved me so much and all of us so much that she's always going to be around, even in mind, and everybody's always going to talk about her, and nobody's going to forget about her. So I think cross country was way harder because I was just in the mindset of, no, I don't want to run. I don't want to run because she's not here anymore. And because it was still so new that she had passed away, I just had no motivation for anything. But after that race is when I got a lot of motivation, and I started doing things for her. I was like, okay, well, she's not here, but I can do things for her. Because she loved to run, and I was like, I could run for her. She's not here anymore. I know if she was here, she would love to run right now. I remember she would always tell me, I wish I could go in there and race with you guys. I wish I could put on the uniform and run with you guys. And I started remembering all those things that she would tell us and before the race. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna run, and I'm gonna motivate myself with her in mind.
Yeah. Yeah, and what was your senior year like? Because that was like your last year of high school. Did you was it fun for you, and like what was it like graduating as well?
Senior year, it felt so long. It felt long. It felt like, I don't know. I liked senior year. I did because I mean, I did and I didn't, because that year is the year that I was really, really antisocial for some reason.
Mm.
I think I fell into really bad depression that year. So I was so antisocial. I would only talk to a couple people, and I would always be sitting down. It'd be rare if I were to go walk around. But I was always with about like three or four friends. Um, it was fun. It was a good year. I liked senior dinner dance, but it felt so long. I feel like so much happened that year, but nothing happened at the same time. But it felt good to graduate. It did, but it did feel weird at the same time because we didn't really have a graduation like we were supposed to. But I mean, I didn't really care, to be honest. I cared about getting my diploma because that's what we were there for, getting our diploma. But it was a good year. I liked it.
Yeah. Oh, so you graduated literally last year, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what happened like when the COVID hit in March? How did the school go after that?
So I remember that day. It was a Friday, and everybody was talking about, oh, I think they're gonna close the school down because of COVID and stuff. And I think it was like second period when people were saying that. and they were saying they were gonna close it for just 2 weeks. So I was like, you know what? I'm starting my vacation early. I'm leaving. And I left during break, our first break. I left. I went home and it had passed 2 weeks and we never came back. And I was like, oh my God, I really regret leaving that day because I could have had like one last day of school, even though I hated school so much. I was like, I could have had one last day of school. And so, yeah, we never came back. We had our classes and they were just online. And I think only AP classes were on Zoom. I'm not sure, but I didn't have Zoom classes. I just had like, and I think it was Illuminate. I don't know. One of the, yeah, something like that. We just had online classes and I got my grades up really fast. I did better on online classes than in school. And that was kind of weird because I don't learn like that. You have to teach me with examples in person. But I passed and that's all I cared about. I was like, as long as I'm passing, can you see me still?
Yeah.
I froze.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I was like, as long as I'm passing, everything's fine. And I remember that year I had weight training, so that class was kind of weird online. They would just ask us, what did you eat today? How much did you run? Or how much activity did you do today? But I liked senior year. I liked weight training. I remember I think I did weight training sophomore year too. And I liked it because it really helped me with cross country and I thought like working out was like, oh my God, nothing's gonna happen. Like you're not gonna build muscle, but my arms were so toned, like super, super toned, and my legs too. And then now that I don't run, I'm a stick. But I was actually gonna go run this morning, but I had to buy stuff for the house and stuff, so I didn't have time. So hopefully tomorrow after work I can start running again.
Yeah, I've been going to the gym for a few months now. I had the same mentality. I was like, I'm so fucking fat. I think if I go to the gym, like, what's gonna happen from it? But you should see my arms. I mean, I'm wearing long sleeve now, but my arms are so toned. My arms are huge. My biceps, oh my God, I'm really sore right now. The thing I want to lose is my stomach because my stomach is my issue and my face. I have such a chubby face, and it doesn't go away no matter what the hell I do. I think I have to do cardio, right?
I think so, and I think with like your face, because trust me, my face like it gets chubby sometimes, but I noticed that it's because of what I eat. So if I eat a lot of food that has like a lot of salt, my skin almost looks like, or my face kind of looks like it's swelling. It doesn't really look like chubby. It kind of looks like it's swelling. So I think a lot of foods with like salt, I think that's what makes your face a little chubby. Mm-hmm. But cardio would help me a lot because I remember when I would run, my face wasn't as like brown. But yeah, I think honestly, with the face, I think it has to do a lot with what you eat.
Yeah, I think the cardio would help too. So watch what I eat in the cardio. Because I remember I had like fucking jawline. I haven't had a jawline in like 3 years.
I remember. Was it in my class when your face was super defined? Like, I remember you had a jawline. I felt almost insecure around you because I've always had a double chin. No matter how skinny I get, how chubby I get, like, I'll always have a double chin.
Well, it's funny because in senior year, I was underweight. I was like 15 pounds underweight. I was just really skinny because I was running a lot and I wasn't eating that much. So it kind of just, I was just really, really skinny everywhere. So once I graduated, I'm like, let's get bigger now. Gym, eating more.
You look really good. You look healthy. Like you look like you're at a healthy weight, and like even though you're wearing a long sleeve, you could tell you're kind of toned, and you look healthy. Your face doesn't even look chubby. I think it's just your face shape. To me, it doesn't look chubby. You don't even have a double chin.
Oh, I do. I definitely do. Like, I don't know.
Oh my God. No. Just, I think maybe then you put a camera at a certain angle because to me it doesn't look like you have a double chin.
Oh my God. Okay, what are we gonna talk about now? Let me see. How we met, school. I put Marian's quinceañera. there because we were in the same quinceañera. I was the main chambelán, which was interesting because I didn't really know her like that. She asked me, she's like, "Do you want to be the main chambelán?" I'm like, "Are you sure? Me? Like, are you sure?" But I remember it was so much fun practicing with you guys because I didn't really know you guys, but because I was older there. I was like either junior or senior. You guys were still like little kids. And it was so interesting being with you guys and dancing. And La Señora that taught us, she's so sweet and kind. I had a lot of fun. Did you like the quinceañera?
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, I think I was, if I remember right, I think I was the one that gave her the idea for you to be the main chambelán. Because I was like, he's taller and he looks more mature. I was like, I think if you put anybody else, it's kind of gonna look off. I was like, I think he looks more mature and he looks better. He would look better as the main chambelán. And I really like the lady who taught us was, oh my god, there's a guy outside my window. Um, the lady who taught was Edgar's mom, actually, Edgar Medina.
Mm-hmm.
And I love her so much. She's like my best friend. I think if I was born in her times, we would be best friends.
Yeah, but that was a lot of fun. I loved it. I love to go to quinceañeras and like Mexican parties just for the food. I love, love, love Mexican food. I always tell my friends like whenever you have tamales or you have a little carne asada going on, invite me. I'll
Oh
come
yeah,
through.
you're from Puerto Rico, so the food is different. You need to bring me some of your food.
I will. I will. I mean, during the holidays, because we cook a lot during the holidays. I know a lot of my friends haven't tried Puerto Rican food. I feel like I'm not doing my job. I also wanted to mention that I asked you out to homecoming. We went to homecoming together. I remember that. I remember I was like, well, I need to go to homecoming because I'm homecoming prince, so I guess I have to go. And I'm like, but I want to ask someone out. And I'm like, I'm going to ask Anna because she's a homecoming royalty too. So I asked you and you said yes. I made you a poster and I brought you flowers. And then I remember, I think like a week after, I asked you, like, so what are you going to wear? Because we kind of like have to match. And you're like, oh, I got this yellow dress. I'm like, oh my God, a yellow dress. How the hell am I going to match with that? But it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out. That was so sweet of you. Actually, like, believe it or not, like randomly that day pops up in my mind. I'm like, oh my god. I was like, that was so sweet of him. That was so nice. I've never had something like that. And the poster was so cute too. I think I still have the poster. It's under my bed.
What was it? It was something like, it was running related, right?
About it was a line like it had to do with running. I remember it had to do with running. I'm gonna have to look for it and then I'll show it to you. But because I do have it. It had to do with running, and I loved it so much. It was so cute.
Cool. I've never asked anyone out to like homecoming or anything. You were the only one. And I'm so glad you said yes.
Oh my god, I feel honored. I feel blessed.
Oh my God. Let's talk about tattoos now because I see that you have a new tattoo there and it's huge. Talk to me about that one.
I'm doing a half sleeve. So initially I have two butterflies. Right here. What is this called? Not your forearm. What is this? This part.
God. I
I had two butterflies, but I hated how they came out. I think the guy just used a really thick needle, so it didn't really look clean. So I was like, I have to get this covered up. And I've never ever wanted to like have a half sleeve or like a full sleeve. I like tattoos, but I didn't want it to look like so many. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to because I hate these two little butterflies that I have here. So my first tattoo was the year that Jackie was born. It's a little date right here. Um, my second tattoo was the one on my back. It's for my mom. It's a rose and the stem says serenity, the serenity prayer, because that reminds me of my mom. And then now with the half sleeve, I'm doing, so the compass is for Jackie because she wanted a compass tattoo. And I'm kind of, the rest of it, I kind of wanted to do with time. So that's why I have an hourglass. It's not finished yet, but we're gonna go all the way up here, but I kind of wanted to do more with time, and I want like butterflies and maybe a bird or something, because no matter what happens in life, time is still going, time is still passing by. So I feel like it's really important to realize that time is everything, and you could, how to explain it? People don't want to go run for 2 hours, but they'd rather go on TV for 2 hours. They say, "Oh, I don't have time to run," but they go on watch TV for 2 hours. I think time is really important, and what you do with your time is so important. So my tattoos that I have, they all have a meaning to me. I don't think I would like to get a tattoo just because. So all my tattoos have a meaning, and to me, time is really important, and Jackie's really important. So maybe I'm gonna put her name somewhere in here or something that reminds me of her, which I already have the compass, but I'm trying to think of something else that would go with the tattoo already.
It is really cool, and how every tattoo has a meaning, and every tattoo like means something to you. Like mine, you've seen this one, the music note is treble clef. I love music. Music is my life. I love to sing. It means the world to me. I'm literally nothing without music and without my voice. Like I got drunk and I lost my voice. I was singing and I started crying. I'm like, if I lose my voice, I lose everything. But then the next day I was fine, so I was being dramatic. And then I got a whale here. Have you seen a picture of my whale?
Yeah, I did. I loved it. Well, remind me of you, because I remember, I think at some point you even had like was it a button up, a whale button up, or like a shirt? Yeah.
I still have it, but the problem is that it's a size small, and I'm far from a size small, so I can't wear it anymore, but I still have it.
You could get to that point again, and even then, you don't have to be small again. You could get a bigger shirt. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so I got a whale because that's my favorite animal. And then whales for me represent peace. They represent go with the flow, just live life. And that's very me.
That's true. I never thought about it that way. That's really true. That's good.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get youth, the word youth here in my side of my finger. Not because people are like, youth, isn't that for kids? I'm like, no, when I think of youth, I don't think about like age. I think of like your youthfulness, like your hopefulness, like your joy inside of you, the youth that you will always have inside of you. And then on this finger on the side, I want to put rare, because that word means a lot to me, because I feel like every single person is rare in some shape or form. You got to find what's unique about you, because that's what makes you you. So rare. And then one day, I want to get something for Puerto Rico. I don't know what, maybe a little flag or whatever. And that's it for now, so maybe 3 more. But people always say, like, once you get your first tattoo, you're never going to stop. And yeah.
Like, that's kind of true, because it's barely been a year since I got my first ever tattoo, and I already have almost a full half sleeve, and I have one on my back. I have one on my neck right here. I have a little cross. That's for my sister, because her name is Belen. And you know how in the Bible there's, I don't know if it's, in the Bible there's like a town that's called Belen, and that's my sister's name. So that's why I got a cross, because for God and for my sister Belen.
Yeah. And also, I didn't think like the pain was that bad with tattoos. People always scared me. I'm like, it hurts, but like it's a tolerable pain. Like I could deal with it, right?
Yeah, honestly, to me, it doesn't hurt at all. It almost feels like when you're drawing on yourself with a pen. That's how it doesn't hurt at all. And that's what I noticed with the first one. I was like, wait, like you're already starting? It doesn't even feel like anything. Because people make it seem like it's like you're getting a knife and you're like carving like letters. That's how I thought it was going to feel. But it didn't hurt to me. It just feels like you're drawing on yourself with a pen.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's cool. Can we talk about how I need you to become a model? Because I love your photos. Hear me out. You look so great in every single photo that you post. You're such a model. Like I remember when I took photos of you, you're like, all right, like the way you just get in the mood to just be taking pictures of. So would you ever consider that, like just being like a model?
I'm not gonna lie. How to explain it? My mom always tells me that too. Since I was little, so I've always been really thin, and I've always had long legs. Um, even just yesterday, she always calls me, "Ay, mi modelo, mi modelo, ya se va mi modelo." I'm like, "Mom, stop." And she's like, "No, es que estás bonita, deberías de ser modelo," all the time.
Yeah.
She tells me to be. So I honestly, like, if one day it were to come to me, I would not mind doing that. But I think I would have to let it come to me. I don't think I would go and look for it, like try to go be a model, but I wouldn't mind that at all. I think I would enjoy it.
Yeah, and I realized too how the photos of you are great, but I noticed that like your confidence too is a big part of it because we talked about it once. Like you posted like bikini pictures, and you were so nervous and shy. And then I think you deleted the picture too, and I asked you why did you delete it? Everyone loves it, and it's like the confidence part. Like why do you think that is? Like you have an issue like with the confidence part of it.
I'm not sure. You're right though. I think I don't have. I feel like I put myself down a lot, even though I shouldn't. I think we all do in a way. We put ourselves down for one reason or another. But I've been trying. I've been trying a lot to gain more confidence because everybody's different. This world would be so boring if we were to all look the same and act the same. It would be so boring. There would be no point in life. Like we're all meant to be different. So I think I've been trying to love the parts of myself that I used to hate. I try to say, you know what, like no, I'm freaking stupid. I'm fucking stupid. I'm dumb. And I try to, like, for example, I always hated like my mouth area. Like I hated it since I was little. But I've been trying so hard to be like, you know what? That's fine. Like that's what makes me me. We're all different. We all have different lips. We all have a different face shape. We all look different. So I think what's been helping me is telling myself that we're all meant to be different. And it's okay to be different. It's okay to look a certain way. It's okay to do your makeup super dark or whatever you want to do. Um, and I think honestly, that's what's been helping me a lot. And I don't know. I don't know why I would put myself down so much and why I had a little bit of confidence. And I think I'm getting better with confidence. I think now what I'm lacking is gaining more confidence when I speak. I feel like sometimes when there's more than one person in the room, I don't want to talk that much. I'm scared to say what's really on my mind, and I think about how I'm gonna word myself. So now I'm just kind of struggling with the part of speaking in front of 3 people, 4 people. But I don't know. I've always been a really insecure person, like with myself, and I don't know. I don't know when that started, but it's been since I was young. Since I was young, I just felt like I'm not enough to talk to anybody. I just feel like I'm not enough to be around certain people. But that's not true. I feel like that shouldn't be true. I feel like that's what society makes us think sometimes, that people are better than us and they look better than us, or they do this better or that better. But I just feel like it's really society makes us think a lot of things. And I've been trying to not even pay attention to what society thinks. Like, who cares? Because if we pay attention to it, we're just gonna burden ourselves. Like, if we think about what people think, we're not living for ourselves. We're not. We're living to please everybody else, and that's not good. We need to learn to just live for ourselves and make ourselves happy. Because at the end of the day, you could have your family, your friends, and everything, but nobody could take care of you how you could take care of yourself.
Yeah, that's really well said. Especially the part where como que like not letting people define you. Basically, don't let people say that shit about you. Especially like me, like coming from like YouTube, everyone talking shit, everyone telling me to do this and this and this, and the family and controlling you. Like honestly, like again, like what society makes of you too. I struggled with that in this trip. Like my whole, I took my friend Andrew to Puerto Rico and my friend Samantha, but like how they were like, oh, so you're bringing your boyfriend, You're bringing your boyfriend, your boyfriend, your boyfriend, your boyfriend. I'm like, no, like it's possible for a gay guy to be friends with a straight guy and fucking take him to Puerto Rico. Not every. It's actually happened a lot of times, and it's actually annoying, actually, how a gay guy cannot be friends with a straight guy. And I have so many fucking straight guy friends, and it's like, it's how it's seen, because it's not very normal, I guess, but it's possible, I guess. They look at it like, oh, he has straight guy friends, they must be gay too. It's possible to just, it's kind of like what society, like you said, what society makes of you. And back to, again, like the confidence part about how you have to learn like stuff about you. Like I've been struggling with that too. Like I have this birthmark, this huge birthmark right in my stomach, and I've hated that about myself since I was a kid. Like I would always walk around crossing my arms. When I was in the pool or whatever, I would cross them just to cover it. And now until it hit me where I'm like, I'm 21 now, and it's like it's gonna be part of me. I have to like just live with it. And like again, like with the weight shit, like I call myself fat all the fucking time. But again, it's me. That's what makes me me. And it's about happiness too. Like I was miserable when I was skinny. I'm a lot happier now that I'm bigger and thicker. I'm not happy with exactly like how I look, but I'm the happiest I've been. And deep down, that is like all that matters. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that's good. That's good. Yeah. I think no matter what you do in life, you just have to make sure that you're happy. Because that's really important. And you can't please people. There's no such thing as pleasing people. Like, why? Why is that even? Why? Why do people do that? There's no point. You should only worry about yourself and making yourself happy and learning new things about yourself. If you pay more attention to yourself, you start learning more things. If you pay attention to yourself more, you learn new things that you could learn to love too. Everything that we have, we could learn to love.
Yeah, exactly. And my friend was saying too, because he was saying the things that he doesn't like about himself, like, oh, I don't like my hair, I don't like my body, I don't like my teeth, I don't like this, this, and this. And I told him, like, those things that you don't like about yourself are things that I love about you, and those are things that make you you, and those are things that other people look up to. So it's interesting that how we look at ourselves, and then how other people look at us. And that's why I've been working on the song. I've been writing a song basically how like I want to see myself the way people look at me because I've received so many compliments all the time, and everyone is so nice, and I never really believe any of it. Like when I get compliments, I kind of just like I don't like, oh, okay, whatever, I don't care. So yeah, I wrote a song about that, and I'm working on it. How just like people, how do I word this? People, I don't know. I guess people just compliment me, and I want to see how they see me because I don't see myself that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, sometimes I wish that I could see myself in another person's eyes, and maybe that'll help me love myself even more. But I think the first thing to do is just accept how you are. As long as you accept how you are, then that's the first step to loving yourself.
Yeah. Really well said. And also, I said it the other day too. Like, what is it? I said that I don't like body positivity because body positivity, you're kind of saying like, no, you're perfect. No, you're great. No, you're this. No, you're that. When you don't really believe that, it's kind of a lie. Instead of focusing on like body acceptance, and which body acceptance is just accepting like, okay, look, this is me. I accept you. This is who you are, and let's just move forward. Accepting and then lying to yourself, two completely different things. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true. You're right, because before I would be like, why is this body positivity thing even a thing? And I know it helps other people, so don't get me wrong. Like I don't have anything against it, but it's almost like I feel like I would be lying to myself. It hurts to be like, oh, I love this, I love that about myself, I love this and that. So the first thing to me, the first step is to accept how I am, and then I can love myself because I feel like that's with anything in life. You have to accept how certain people are or how certain things are to learn to love them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think we went through everything I wrote for you. This is the time where I usually ask my guest if they have a question for me before we finish up.
I have a lot of questions.
Well, you could ask as many as you want, but go ahead.
what have you been doing?
I'm still getting my shit together because I got back home from Puerto Rico on Wednesday, and I haven't really. Today was the first day since that day that I actually got to sleep in, because I woke up early and I've been working a lot, so I'm so behind at work. Um, but school's starting next Monday. My first semester at CSUMB. I'm gonna start working on my bachelor's for psychology, which I might change. I think I'm just gonna say fuck everyone and fuck that. I'm just gonna go for music. But yeah, so school, work, working a lot, going to the gym in the mornings, got the podcast, got the YouTube. So very busy, that's it. And this year has been like probably the most I've done like travel wise and just doing things that I want to do and having fun. Cuz I spent a lot of my life just like not having fun, like people invited me places and I'm just like, "No, I don't want to go. No, 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 no." This year is the most like I've lived, basically. I've lived and I'm the happiest I've been this year. Um which is great. So, that's basically it. It's just taking each day little by little. Yeah.
Um, let me see if I have another question.
One more.
I feel like I do, but they just don't want to come out.
We have to hang out again with your friend. What was her name?
What?
Wendy, yes, Wendy.
Yeah, she loves you.
She loves
She
me?
loves you. You're really good company.
Oh,
And me and her, we both agreed actually that day when we dropped you off. I was like, doesn't he balance us out? Because we're so freaking loud. I was like, we're so fucking loud, and he like balances us out, and he's like just so perfect. He's like, he's not too loud, and he's not too quiet. But how do you consider your personality or how you are with people?
God. That's interesting because it's funny you say that because during this trip, my dad flew out his friend Raphael, and I haven't seen Raphael since I was like 7 or 8. When I went to Florida, we went to Disney World, and I haven't seen him since I was 8. And he told me again, I've had a couple shots, and so did he, but still, it came from the heart. He was saying how he remembers when I was a kid, and how I haven't changed a single bit. Like I'm the same that I've been since the beginning, which is crazy because I feel like I've changed tremendously, but not personality wise. I've changed tremendously just like with my life, just how I live my life. And I was thinking about this actually the other day. This is so crazy you asked me. I was thinking because when I came out, I thought my life would change tremendously. I thought I would just be myself again and just be happy and whatever. But I noticed that it wasn't really like being myself because I was actually myself all along. There wasn't much I had to change because I'm still the same person I was before I came out. It's just kind of now people know like my sexuality. The personality part has always been there. It wasn't a shock to me. But personality wise, I think I'm nice. I think I'm caring. I care about people. I love to listen more than I like to talk. I'm an introvert and I'm not really a conversationalist. I love to listen to people's stories and just listen to people talk. And but I've been struggling with that now because now that I kind of want to talk more now that I'm 21, and I noticed, and it's kind of annoying me, it's triggering me how I am constantly surrounded by people who don't let me talk. Like I feel like people think it's okay to interrupt me when I'm talking, and I'm like, bitch, I'm not done talking. I got more to say, so don't fucking interrupt me. Especially my friends. All of my friends, I love them so much, but I've noticed that like they never let me talk. They think it's okay to interrupt me, and then they keep talking about something else, and I never get to get my point across. This podcast is the only time I get to speak and actually have a conversation. When I'm with other people, they never let me talk, and then they complain when I don't fucking talk. They're like, how come you didn't say anything? How come you weren't talking? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, because if I open my mouth, you're gonna fucking interrupt me and I don't get to get my fucking point across. So it's like two different views. Either I don't talk enough, or I talk too much, or I don't say anything. So that's what I've been struggling now. But personality-wise, I've always been the same. I don't know if you can tell. I feel like I've always been the same. Nothing really big has changed about me. That's why I've been able to keep so many friends from high school. I genuinely love friendships and I love keeping everyone a part of my life. Because I feel like that doesn't happen much. I feel like you graduate from high school and you lose people, and it's kind of like you get to know their true colors and shit like that. But for me, I've never really been fake. I just love everyone deeply. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true about you. Yeah, I wanted to ask that, so I was like, I wonder if he sees himself how like I see him.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I agree. I think you're a really loving person, and when I'm around you, you can feel how genuine you are. Um, I love your vibe. You're so funny and you're so nice. And sometimes you say funny things and you don't even realize it. Like you're just so calm and you say something funny and you don't even realize it. Um, but I just hope one day you love yourself a lot. How I love you, because I love you so much. And you mean a lot to me. You mean so much to me. I don't think I've ever had a guy friend or even a girlfriend that's like so calm and so genuine, and you're so nice. You're always checking up on me. You always send me a random picture, or you text me randomly saying, "Hey, I miss you," or stuff like that. And I I don't think you see how much you do care about people and how much you show it without even trying. Um, but you show me a lot that you care about me with little things, and I appreciate that a lot, and I'm never gonna forget you. And I know we will never stop talking, but if for some reason one day we don't talk anymore, I'm never gonna forget you, because you're such a good person, and everywhere you go, you give happy vibes everywhere. Are you crying? Oh my god, I'm sorry. Oh, don't cry. Oh, you're gonna make me cry. I'm sorry. Um,
I'm good. I'm good. All right, I'm good.
sorry.
Okay. What a way. Wait. Okay. What a way to end this. No, like, God, why'd you do this to me? um. Okay. No, it's just one of those things where. Okay. No, like you never know what people need to like I needed to hear that. That's basically it. Like I needed to hear that. Yeah, you never know what people are going through, and like to hear that. That's really okay.
Sure.
I'm done.
No, yeah, I appreciate you so much. Don't cry. Don't cry. You're the best. You're the best, and you could overcome anything. Everything we go through, it's just making us stronger. It's building our character. But just think about it that way. We have to go through things in life to become a better person and to become stronger. Because you wouldn't be so nice if you didn't go through things in life. And you're the best. Don't be sad. Don't cry. I'm sorry for you cry.
Thank you. All right, I don't want to record anymore. Let me end this, and then we'll keep talking. Thank you guys so much for checking out this episode. I appreciate it. I'll see you next week. Thank you. Love you. Bye.